Yeah, no. So I was going to say happy Friday, but then I'm starting to get to the point where I'm not really sure if... I mean, I appreciate it if you do
ruin
listen...
the facade.
I do appreciate it if you do listen to this on release day, which is being Fridays. But at the same time, if it's Saturday, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, whenever point in time between now and the end of existence, I appreciate you listening to this episode of 2c3pod, Two's Company, Three's a Podcast. My name is Dylan.
That's right. My name is Mitchell.
Hello.
Yes, that's right. Like, it doesn't matter when you listen to us. I mean, our jokes are timeless. So even if the movies are well and truly gone, we still tell lots of funnies. So thank you for tuning to this. I mean, we're sitting back on our mansions right now in 2022, and you're listening. Yeah.
So in less than 3 years' time,
we're about to take over the damn world.
Oh wow! Well, if you're listening to this on release day, you heard that. In 2 years, 3 years' time, we're going to have mansions from
That's
podcasting.
Right. Did I mention on Miami Beach?
Oh,
but coming from two legends, Jack Benny was a legend, and now the honeymooners is over because it's time for 2c3pod competing on Survivor. All right. Keeping up with Wednesday's theme of a little bit of trivia, which actor wrote Steven Spielberg a letter admiring his work, and which led to him getting a part in Saving Private Ryan?
Which actor wrote him a letter?
Yes, a three-page letter expressing admiration for his work over the years, which actually then got him a role in Saving Private Ryan.
That would be a very easy answer if that movie wasn't stacked with such an amazing cast.
No, but yeah.
So is it Matt Damon? Is it Tom Hanks?
No.
Is it Paul Giamatti?
No.
Is it... man, I love that movie, but it's been so long. Is it somebody else?
It's Vin Diesel.
He was in that movie.
That's
yes,
right.
he was.
Exactly.
Yeah.
It wasn't a major player, but he got him that role.
Just like Paul Giamatti. They were all kind of just thrown in there. But
that's right.
They were so... When you see them... That was like Easter eggs 101.
Yeah,
like, they didn't have to be like particularly derivative of the story. They just had to be there and you go,
exactly.
That guy. That's cool.
right. Yeah. So
you did say something...
Fun little fact.
You said something... Yeah. So what was your introduction? What did you say before at the very beginning?
Jack Benny was a legend and... oh, man. Why you got to put me on the spot like that? I just said it and now that my memory is terrible.
Yeah, but
the honeymooners is over.
Nope. There was something else before that I really wanted to say.
Oh. The mansions on Miami Beach.
Nope, it was in between that. Anyway.
Coming from two legends.
It's definitely not that either. Anyway, listen, it's Trailer Park.
Yes, that's right. It's my favourite time of the week, whether it's Friday, Saturday, Sunday, or Tuesday.
Yeah.
Not Monday.
Fuck Mondays.
Exactly, fuck Mondays. Make sure you download it and we can improve your day, hopefully. But it's time to head down to the Trailer Park, new Biggins.
All right, let's
all
pull up
aboard the tractor, because it's my favourite segment of the week.
Yeah.
Where we look at the freshest trailers from the week and discuss them.
Yes.
And then we rate them on a big summer blowout, big summer blunder scale.
Yeah.
And whether we think they'll be successful or not. Now, the first one I'm just going to rip straight into because we've already covered it in depth. Sonic dropped literally 45 minutes after last week's recording.
Yep.
So we've already got a full-length YouTube review of that trailer.
YouTube only. Make sure you check it out. 2c3pod.
Not available on Podbean, Spotify, Apple Podcasts,
or any other platform.
But it's on YouTube.
Absolutely.
Big summer blowout.
Anyway.
So we'll move forward from that. The next one has dropped its final trailer and it's ready for the theaters. A Beautiful Day in the Neighborhood.
Yes.
Now, Tom Hanks stars as beloved children's TV presenter Mr. Rogers, telling the true story of how he captured America's heart and was a part of so many people's childhoods. A reporter is tasked with him writing an article on him and seeing him for the perfect person he is. Also starring Matthew Rhys, Chris Cooper, and Susan Watson. Coming to the US this week, still no Australian release date.
Yeah, so this movie has been out in America for a little while because I have seen people do reviews, must have been pre-releases of the film.
I was going to say,
it's a little bit different to what people expected. People expected this movie to be solely based upon the story of Mr. Rogers, but essentially the story is telling the story is a reporter surrounding him trying to dig up a bit of dirt.
That's right.
On this guy. You know, why is he so nice? He's got to be hiding something. There's got to be a different side to him.
That's right. And that's Matthew Rhys's character. And as you see in the trailer, he's an investigative reporter and they're just like, oh, we just want a 400-word puff piece.
Yeah.
You know, that's all they want. Just a little bit of a story on Mr. Rogers. And he's
we
like,
want to
I'm going to probe this bastard, you know, and they somehow become connected and Yeah, no, Mr. Rogers is a huge figure in the States, but he was never over here at all.
That's the thing. I didn't know about who Mr. Rogers was until memes on the internet.
Well, that's right. I'd known about Mr. Rogers through pop culture references. I remember in particular there was Family Guy have done stuff on him. You know, The Simpsons it touched on him. So we've seen little snippets here and there, but from an Australian perspective, I understand why this isn't getting an Australian release.
Well, at least not anytime soon.
That's right. Yeah.
Listen, I think this movie is going to be good. And the reason being, it does tell the story of a very, very warm soul, for what I know. And Tom Hanks looks the part, and he's obviously one of the greatest, if not the greatest actor that's ever lived.
That's
in this generation anyway. 100%. So I think this movie is certainly going to be a big summer blowout. Grand scheme of things. In Australia, who knows? Scales. It's hard to tell.
It may or may not come, but this is definitely one that I do still want to see when it comes to a service or it comes out on as a digital rent. Like, I definitely would still want to watch this just purely because of Tom Hanks.
Yeah, Tom Hanks is amazing.
Yeah, simple as that. So, so big summer blowout on all schemes.
Yeah, big summer blowout.
Now, moving on, would you like to take the next one?
I'll take the next one. Now, I watched all of these trailers before recording, as I do.
As you do.
And there was a few in the list this week that had my intrigue. You know, not as hot as most of the other weeks, but this one in particular has my interest, and mainly because the lead actress is also one of the lead actresses in our film review later in the episode.
Yes, so stay tuned for DTTR.
Yeah, but this movie is called Seberg? The true story of Jane Seberg, a 1960s actress who, at the top of her fame, was targeted by the FBI for speaking about civil rights and fighting back for the black man. She was a pasty white woman. Orkies! Looks like an intelligent, hard-hitting thriller. Ridiculously good cast headlined by Kristen Stewart, Zazie Beetz, Anthony Mackie, Vince Vaughn, Jack O'Connell, Stephen Root, and Cole Meany. Amazon original, but only in select theaters in 13th of December US release date. Now, the reason that this has me intrigued is because, as we've discussed in the most recent sort of podcast leading up to now, the stars of Twilight are breaking out of that stigma of that being mold, in crappy things. Now, 100%. For the rest of their careers, they're going to be known as those two people who starred in a disgusting series of movies. But they're breaking out, and I think Kristen Stewart is a very good example of somebody who is succeeding by being more true to themselves in the characters they play. And I do think she's a good actress. She's just made decisions to get her to the limelight, which may have damaged her reputation a bit, but it's hard to tell how she would have got here any other way.
No, that's right. But at the same time, it's nice to see them both finally growing as actresses, you know, so this one in particular, though, if we want to focus on Seberg, it looks like a fascinating story.
Yes.
Absolutely fascinating. And a true story as well, which is like the most appealing part of it for me as well.
Does Anthony Mackie have to star in all of the latest stories about
civil rights?
Yeah, stories about the struggling black man movies. Yes. He seems to be in all of them.
Was it The Banker from a few weeks ago?
Well, last week I think it was.
Last week, maybe. Yeah. I'm not sure. Tell us. But they're available in the archives.
So that's all about a previous story back in the 60s or whatever it was about how, you know, the black man in America was struggling to make life.
I will say it's like, while it may seem like he's somewhat typecast as that civil rights, you know, actor based around those concepts.
Yeah.
It's because he's that fucking good.
Oh, no.
It's because he's that good of an actor where he can play that role.
I don't think there's anything wrong with it. I just see I'm just seeing a trend.
I know you don't. Yeah, no, and definitely. And man, if he's good at that, let's just let him do what he does best.
Yeah. But in terms of the story it does look good. It's just, as we said, it's a true story, a story that I don't know, so I'm interested to find out what it's all about. Yeah. As we said, we've seen stories like this before, and they're always going to be here, and they're all usually pretty good.
Yeah.
But the big thing for me is the cast. Zazie Beetz, I really like. Domino, Joker, she's been good in the two things I've seen her in. Anthony Mackie. Yes,
she played Domino, but yes.
What did I say? I said the character.
You just said the character.
I said
Domino.
The character's name and then the movie. So Vince Vaughn had a bit of a bit of a downfall for a little while but he's been great, especially in Brawl in Cell Block 99. Like, he can fucking act when he wants to. So
100%.
I've no doubt he's going to perform in this film as well.
I feel like he in particular is at that part of his career where he literally has multiple millions in the bank and he's doing what he wants.
Yes,
like there's no more like as in taking roles because I'm that funny guy. Like, it's literally I'm taking roles because I'm an actor and I want to do what I want.
Yeah,
and,
I think just like Kristen Stewart, he's taking these roles because they are both actors and they want to show that they can act and they're not just there to either be a pretty face or to be a funny voice.
That's right.
So I think this movie is going to be very good.
I think Big Summer Blowout on the critical part of things, but probably Big Summer Blunder on the theatrical release.
In terms of box office, it's hard to tell.
I feel like this one will have a limited release, whereas she's in that other one, the underwater one coming out in January, that will be the international release.
That's like a science fiction horror film, which we've touched on a little bit, but we'll talk about more when it comes around.
That's right, and that's more commercial, whereas this one's more niche. This one might be at Avoca Beach Theatre.
Yeah, maybe. But people are saying, especially in not necessarily the reviews, but like the pre sort of scenes for this, and like articles are writing that I keep saying Kirsten. Yeah. Kristen Stewart is apparently phenomenal in this film.
Yeah.
So I believe that. One of my favorite roles of hers in recent history was American Ultra. I think she was great in that film.
Absolutely. Jesse Eisenberg as well.
Yeah. So I think she's certainly having a very good resurgence, and I am personally a fan.
I don't call it a resurgence. I think it's more just
finding her feet.
Yeah, exactly. Okay. That's right. Like, they were both pigeonholed as those Twilight characters for so long. And you look at what R. Patz has done and what he's doing soon, and you look at the way she's taking roles now and being that lead actress in big movies that are left field a little bit as well.
Yep.
Man, I'm excited for both of their futures, honestly. Yeah, they're both very talented, and I'm happy to forget about the whole vampire glowing, glistening in the... Yeah.
Cool.
So big... Yeah, absolutely. All right, we'll move it on to the next one that we have here on the list, and this is one that I am uber keen for, and I am.
Listen, I've never really been a fan of this series simply because I kind of grew up after it, but a lot of people my age and older than me, of course, loved this well into their teens and into their adulthood. So I'm going to let you carry this one, but I will express that I am looking forward to it.
Yes, good. I'm glad. And we can already just preliminary say, before we've even said the movie name, Big Summer Blowout on both screens.
Yeah, Big Summer Blowout. Absolutely. Yeah, we'll be seeing this for DTCR.
Absolutely. Yeah. All right, so we have the next SpongeBob SquarePants movie installment. Oh God! Don't even try. Leave it to Tom Kenny. Yeah. The SpongeBob movie, Sponge on the Run, the next big screen spin-off for the hugely popular Nick show, sees our beloved heroes SpongeBob and Patrick set out on a journey to the lost city of Atlantic City to find his beloved pet snail Gary. The usual hijinks ensues, including being high on sugar, ironing while driving a car, talking to celebrity cameos in bushes, and excessive compulsive gambling.
Yes.
Everything the kids will love, coming May 2020.
Just like Shrek and a lot of other sort of animated films and TV shows.
Yeah.
Targeted to kids. These movies, and especially SpongeBob, is 110% also, and probably more prominently made for the adults.
Absolutely.
Who understand the jokes. And I really, as I said, I've never been one to sit down and watch SpongeBob episodes from start to finish, but whenever they've been on and I've watched them, they're all good.
Yes.
And they've all been good. I used to think, it's a bit annoying, but no, it's fine.
No, exactly.
I haven't seen any of the previous SpongeBob movies.
Oh, really?
I just haven't had really reason to watch them.
First one's really good. Second one, it's okay.
So I've heard. Yeah. But this one, I like the animation style. I love that it's...
Well, that's what the second one was. The first one was classic TV style. The second one was this new 3D type animation.
It's kind of got that mixture of 3D/2D stop motion animation, which I really adore.
Yes. Which, they've been doing in their specials on the Nick show when they do a double episode. They've done that a few times where they bring in that stop motion, almost 3D looking style. So it's not too unfamiliar for the regular fans of the show to grasp.
Yeah, but for someone like me who's an outsider, this looks really funny.
Yeah.
I think it looks really good. I like the every single joke is a throwaway joke. Like the one with particularly, like, it's no spoilers. It's in the trailer.
Yeah.
I can't remember what SpongeBob says, but then, as you mentioned in your description, Patrick is literally ironing his clothes and he throws the iron out the car. And he's like, I do also like my ironing, or something like that.
No, he said, I think SpongeBob's driving and he says, that irony is very clever or something. And he's like, thank you.
Yeah. There's two particular moments in SpongeBob's TV series that I distinctly remember. As I said, I'd never watched an episode from start to finish, or maybe I have once or twice.
Whereas I'm the one who owns them all on DVD.
Which is perfectly... You also have heaps of toys, don't you? Like you collected
my
SpongeBob
kids
stuff.
now have heaps of toys.
But
no,
yes, you do.
I
anyway,
do. Yes.
That's
100%.
Fine. It's adorable and I love it.
Shut up. We used to get drunk in my room and play with my SpongeBob toys.
That's what I mean. It's fine.
Exactly.
The moment when Gary walks in on SpongeBob watching porn.
Oh my God, that's
hilarious.
It's like anemones on the TV doing that. He's like, Gary! Barry.
Yep, that was hilarious.
Yes.
And the brain coral episode where Patrick gets his head cut off, replaced.
That's
he becomes
right,
super
yes.
intelligent and no longer wants to be friends with SpongeBob. And then they turn him back to his original form by replacing his literal head.
Yeah.
That's totally fucked up.
Yeah.
But I love it.
Yeah. No,
but especially the porn episode. I thought that was hilarious.
No, but that's the thing. That's literally a throwaway joke. There is no reference to
But
that
it's
again.
memorable.
No,
a non-fan remembers that.
Yeah, absolutely. And that's one of the key elements to this and why it's still so successful is I feel like this is one of the very first adult cartoons, but it was safe enough for children. If that makes sense, because almost every episode they are ridiculous jokes. Like, for example, not so much a joke, but the fact that Squidward, growing up, he was the most annoying character, and I totally get why he's the villain.
Now he's relatable.
When you become an adult, you're like, Squidward, I get it.
Yeah.
You've got that annoying childlike neighbor who's literally the goody two shoes and that, and you're just trying to do your 9 to 5 and go the fuck home and forget everything.
Yeah.
So to me, SpongeBob is still so relatable. This is obviously big summer blowout on all schemes.
Yeah.
And yeah, of course they had to squeeze some Keanu Reeves in there.
Oh, yeah. Now, that was probably my least favorite part of the trailer.
I know. We've discussed that, we're kind of over that.
I get it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Why not? And he's
that's
playing
fine.
Sage, probably the wise words that they'll hear to guide them on their journey.
And he's in a tumbleweed, and he's kind of filmed in a very strange way where when he's looking at the side, it's literally Keanu Reeves with his head turned. I'm not sure many people will really notice that, but I definitely did. And I think, okay, I get it. That's just a quirky in-joke.
All I'll say is I don't think Keanu Reeves' cameo in this movie will beat David Hasselhoff from the first one.
No.
You haven't seen it, but his cameo in the first one is just bonkers good.
Okay.
It's bonkers cliche Hasselhoff. It's so great.
That's all he is a cameo cliche Hasselhoff nowadays.
And that's fine, as long as you don't give him any burgers.
Or alcohol to go with it. Excessive amounts of alcohol.
Yeah.
Another thing just on SpongeBob while we're on the subject.
May as well.
A third point that
Let's do a SpongeBob special.
I'll have to catch up on everything.
You'll do it.
I'll happy to do so, yeah. Who owns Nickelodeon now? What streaming services has Nickelodeon?
It was on Stan for us Australian listeners, but it's now on Netflix.
Oh, well, that's good. I have that. That's fine.
Yes, but I think there's only 3 seasons at the moment.
That's fine. That'll get me started. But there's another episode which I distinctly remember, moment in an episode, and I'm sure this is one that a lot of people will remember, is I can't think of who it was. I believe it was Squidward, but he stubs his toe.
Oh, no. Are you talking about when it gets pussy and fills up and it becomes a huge...
And it, draws up the nail and it digs
that's
right in.
SpongeBob.
Is it SpongeBob,
That's SpongeBob. It's on his thumb.
And
he falls down on his thumb, and you see it in slow motion, and then
they go right into it, and I'm sitting there shivering in pain, watching this thing going.
I know, it's
but the
disgusting.
Fact that they've got the balls to do that is hilarious.
They've done that multiple times when they do the random different animation style of the close-ups,
and it's really disgusting.
It's like
real.
Squidward, you look so tired or something, and he just looks normal, but then they zoom in, and it's like crusty and they do that with what's his name, Mermaid Man and Barnacle Boy multiple times, where they zoom in on their ugly, gross, old faces.
I think that is brilliant and hilarious, but also disgusting, and that's why I was turned off. But you can't look away. It's like watching pimple popping videos.
The crazy thing
it's horrible, but you can't look away.
They build it up like, what's it going to do when this huge thing explodes with the pus? But then they actually do it, and Mr. Krabs pulls out the splinter, and he's like, "See, everything's fine," and then it's like literally,
yeah.
But anyway, SpongeBob, Sponge on the Run. I'm keen. All about it. I'll be
absolutely.
there. I'll be there opening day.
Yeah.
I'll go with my kids, then with you, then by myself, then with my kids. 100%.
3 weeks down the line, we've got reviews lined up. It'll be SpongeBob.
And we'll spend an entire episode reviewing that movie. Not just DTCR.
There'll be no trailer park that week. It'll all be SpongeBob.
All right. We should get on the way back, on the way track.
Oh, we should. On the way back. Down on his luck, alcoholic former high school basketball player gets the opportunity to coach his former high school's team. A sports story involving a former star returning to coach a group of troubled teens, aka the plot is almost every sports movie for the last 30 years. Ben Affleck stars in this, probably going to be a really good movie coming out March 2020. Yes, this movie's called The Way Back.
I was about to say, just reiterate the title because you just rolled into it.
Watching this trailer, I saw an image for it, and then when it came to recording this, I did watch it, and I was like, okay, this is every other sports movie we've seen for the last 30 years.
That's why I had to chuck it in there, because as much as this is, like I said, probably going to be a really good film, probably going to earn a lot of praise because Ben Affleck has grown into such a great actor and performer.
Yeah.
But again, this is just every cliche sports movie drama story.
I'm pretty sure he's writing and directing. At least he is directing it because it did say from the director.
Don't you have it open on the tabs? I was going to say, pull it up.
Yeah, let's find it. Way back, here we go. Because it did say...
I don't think he is.
So, written by Gavin O'Connor and so it stars...
Written and directed by Gavin O'Connor, but also there was one other writer up there.
Yeah, but there was something that had to do with one of Ben Affleck's other... The Accountant, where he plays like an autistic accountant, but he's like a hitman or something. I can't remember. I remember putting it on, falling asleep. I really want to watch it, though.
Yeah.
This movie, I don't believe, will make a lot of money. And the reason being, yes, the concept may be fairly generic, but interesting. But Ben Affleck, everybody knows him, but he's not a big drawer in terms of box office anymore. Because
no, not anymore. But at the same time, it's probably the right time for him to do those films like The Accountant and The Way Back because of his
Argo, Gone Girl. Like, they've all been great. Triple Frontier, which is the Netflix
I'd say it's probably the right time to still bank on him as a face because of Batman recently. He's still in even the new generation's mind. Everyone could go, that's the Batman guy.
Younger generations know who he is.
Whereas I feel like domestically referring to America, this will make plenty of money and it'll be fine because it's a great high school sports story. High school and college sports in America are friggin' massive.
Oh, massive.
So I feel like domestically over there, it'll make a few bucks overseas. Like I can't wait to see this, honestly. Big Summer Blowout personally because I love a good sports story, even though it's cliche. We've seen it all before, but I trust Ben Affleck as a performer. And I love basketball. So I'm all on board for this, and I feel like it will still be successful at the box office, but mostly domestically referring to US.
It's got a good recipe.
Yeah.
But me personally... It's my blunder. Yeah. I will see this someday.
No, that's fair.
That's about
exactly. This one, I feel like it won't be remembered in the same vein, but it'll be referenced in future, like a Remember the Titans or a Bad News Bears. I feel like it'll be referenced in the future.
Yeah.
Well, no, maybe a little less comedy. Yeah. Just a smidge. But either way, I still think it'll be a great film, but we'll see what happens.
We'll see what happens. Yeah, so that's the way back.
That's cool. Right. And now we're moving on to my second I'm most excited for this week.
Out of all of the trailers this week, except for maybe SpongeBob and Seaberg, this is another one I'm actually quite looking forward to because the first one...
very different reasons.
Very different reasons.
That's right, all right? So we're just going to get straight into it.
Take it away.
Trolls World Tour.
The crazy train theme happening all the way through it. Yeah.
The sequel to the 2016 hit Trolls comes the next adventure for Poppy and Branch. They need to save their music from the lurches of the evil hard rock trolls. I can already tell I'm going to be rooting for the bad guys in this one.
Yeah.
Ridiculously stacked cast, of course, coming 26th of March in Australia, 3 weeks before the US. Suck it, bitches.
Yeah.
That's right. How the turntables...
What? How the tables have turned.
No, I just quoted Michael Scott. Learn The Office, you bitch.
No.
Yes.
Trolls World Tour. Listen, Trolls 1 was... Damn it.
2 episodes in a row. My bad.
It keeps... I was about to talk about the fucking microphone stand then when I meant it.
Yeah, it keeps hitting the table. And honestly, big summer blunder, Mitchell.
Yeah, this episode.
Yes.
No, Trolls itself was a surprise hit for me. I didn't think I was going to enjoy it as much as I did.
Yeah.
Kind of like the Angry Birds movie. Like, these movies are designed for kids, but there's a lot to enjoy from being an adult.
100%.
Me personally, it was the fucking soundtrack.
Yeah.
I play that on Spotify every few weeks and I sing along and I love it.
Yeah, man. I'm all about that soundtrack and it's still a frequenter in my car because of Willow.
Well, it's a frequent in my car because of me.
No, that's what I mean. So we've got very different reasons. I had to watch this movie and I had to watch it many times. It has been forced down my throat where I know the songs word for word now. Yeah. But it's good, and I never got sick of it, whereas Frozen got sick of that.
Yeah.
But this one, it drew you in as an adult without children, and for good reason.
Yeah,
it's
because
good.
It was a bloody good movie, and the soundtrack is amazing, and it's sung really well, and Justin Timberlake and Anna
Kendrick.
Yeah, they're both really good, and all the other cast as well. But I think the reason I'm going to like this one more is for the soundtrack, not so much this plot. The plot itself, I'm just like,
No, that's fair. I feel like the plot from the original one was much more... You can get caught up in it. This one's kind of like, we need to save our music. Like,
before it was literally about saving their lives and their livelihood in their town. And this one's a bit more, it's a bit more silly, happy-go-lucky kind of thing. But I like the idea of that it's not just hard rock and metal like it's suggested in the first trailer. In this trailer, it suggests that there's different types of musical trolls. There's smooth jazz trolls. There's hip hop trolls. There's rock and roll trolls. There's metal trolls. There's what would theirs be? Like happy singing, fucking
just regular, I guess.
Regular,
bland white trolls.
Vanilla trolls.
But no, that's right. It seems like you're going to get look into the world that they're not the only trolls, because it seems like in the first one that they are just the only trolls around, you know. But it seems like they do have their own world that expands throughout the world of trolls, you know,
Trolliverse.
The Trolliverse. That's right. Trolls World Tour. World. Yeah. So no, and like I said, I think I'm going to be supporting the bad guys because you and I both hard rock, metal, you know. So like, and the fact that the bad guy's she's trying to complete her guitar with the strings that she gets from the kings and queens of all the types of trolls. Yeah, and I feel like I'm going to be supporting that because, I mean, fucking A. I mean, Ozzy Osbourne's in this. Like, Jesus, man. Like, I'm all about that. There's going to be some bangers of some songs, though. Yeah. Because I know how this movie's going to end. They're all going to get along, and everybody can have their own types of music. And I know there's going to be, like, a rock mashup with Anna Kendrick and Justin Timberlake singing. Yeah. And I'm on board.
And I'm all for that. One of the things that really put me off about the first Trolls movie when the trailers were out is that it didn't seem like there was going to be any original music. It seemed to me that there were just going to be
covers
of already popular songs, and the movie itself had a few originals, but mainly remixes and like covers of songs that have come well before, but they were also good.
Yeah, no, that's right. Yeah,
I was like, okay, I'm completely sold. So this movie, I feel there will be originals, but it'll be primarily based off songs and hard rock songs that we know, like Crazy Train and a few Black Sabbath riffs and Deep Purple.
That's right. It'll be the same format as the first one, where they started off with a couple of covers and that, and then they get into this particular situation that they sing about, bringing an original song, another couple of covers, a couple more originals about the situation. But that's the thing, we don't know the situations yet that they'll get into yet. Yeah. So we don't know about the originals yet, but they'll be coming. There'll be some originals in there, and I'm looking forward to that.
Absolutely.
Big summer blowout all around.
Big summer blowout all around. Now, do you know why this movie wasn't called Trolls 2?
Because that exists.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's right. I just realized.
I Googled it to pull up the page. I was like, wait a
minute. That's already happened.
Yeah. I was like, hold on a minute. Those trolls are ugly. This is R-rated. This is definitely not what I was looking for.
No, that's right. Exactly. Exactly. Yeah. So you don't want to have that confusion when the kiddie Googles Trolls 2.
Because kids definitely Google a hell of a lot of things these days. Anyway.
Dylan, I'm ready to show off, but I want you to show off for me.
Okay. I'm going to show everybody Mitch's double wide of the week.
My pick of the bunch, the one I'm going to drive around to Stacy and go, I got the double wide.
Oh my God.
I have a feeling you won't like this.
You're right. You are correct.
I knew it.
This movie is called The Death and Life of John F. Donovan. This story is told through the eyes of a man in his early 20s, recounting how when he was an 11-year-old boy, he was pen pals with a huge movie star John F. Donovan, and they would share their real feelings about life and became true friends before John tragically dies. Truly looks like an amazing story, starring the guy from Game of Thrones, Kit Harington?
Yeah, just read it how I wrote it. People can figure it out.
Okay, starring the guy from Game of Thrones, the boy from Good Boys, the woman from Star Wars, the lady from Misery, and the other lady from Thelma and Louise. Coming to the US December 13.
So that's Kit Harington, Jacob Tremblay, Susan Sarandon, Kathy Bates, and who was the other one? Natalie Portman?
Yes, she was in it, yeah.
Yes.
Listen, the cast is fine.
That's funny. And he read my words just then, so he doesn't think this will be a good story, but I do.
Listen, I think the story will be fine, and I really like Jacob Tremblay. I'm super digging.
He's going to be a megastar. He's already killing it. He's like fucking 12, man. It's weird.
I hope he doesn't burn out too early like a lot of other child actors.
No, well, this is the third movie he's in this year.
Yeah.
Like that we've referenced. There's probably another one.
Yeah. Kit Harington. First time I saw him, and the only time I've ever really watched him, was in Silent Hill Revelations? Retribution? What was that movie called? The sequel to the Silent Hill movies.
I don't know.
It was rubbish, and he was...
Slightly less Quiet Hill.
Yeah. And he was rubbish in that movie. I know he's made his fame from Game of Thrones.
Yeah.
But I can't look past the fact that he sucked in that movie.
No, that's more than fine. I honestly don't think I've seen him in anything.
Yeah, right.
Because he's been so preoccupied with Game of Thrones, understandably. When they get that big break on that TV show, they're occupied. Their whole year's taken up.
Yeah.
So, with that being said, I don't think I've seen anything he's been in. But for me personally, this story feels amazing to me.
Yep.
I understand why some people may not like it. I know you're not so much into those artsy-fartsy type drama films.
Yeah.
But for me, this one, it has that feeling of something that's going to go under the radar but get awards recognitions.
Okay.
To me personally, this could just come and go.
Yeah.
I see why it could just come and go. But to me, the story of this, Kit Harington playing this like ultra famous movie star and just becoming friendly pen pals with a young boy who's struggling with social anxiety at school and being bullied and all that, Jacob Tremblay, and then just building that bond where they consider each other like real friends even though they never met.
Yeah.
Or I don't think they meet because the way it was phrased seems like it's not. And he has all of these very deeply personal letters about this megastar who died too young. And then early 20s, like I said, it finally takes it to a reporter. And finally takes it to a reporter and is like, do you want the real story on this guy? You know, like, and to me, that just seems fascinating.
They say never meet your idols, you know, because you put them on such a pedestal without even thinking. As soon as you realize that they're just human beings, your entire world and perception of that comes crashing down. And if you've loved somebody or idolized somebody or something for your entire life, only to have that thrown back in your face almost to show that, they are just another human being with a different life than you.
Yeah, that's right.
You know, it can really, damage a person. So I think that's what the story may tell.
To all the fangirls and fanboys out there, we're just regular people. I mean, calm down.
Not. We are gods.
That's right. 2022 Miami Beach mansions.
tpublic.com, buy our t-shirts.
That's right, please, because we need money for the mansions.
The mansion.
But anyway, I feel like this is a great film. I feel like it's going to be amazing to me personally, a great story, and maybe change my perception of Kit Harington.
Yeah, no,
because
that's fine.
I've also heard that in real life he is a douche.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I haven't heard anything about his real life.
He's one of those cliche pretty boy diva kind of ones, you know. With
okay.
Like when Game of Thrones ended, he went to like rehab or something because he was so distraught.
Oh, because he didn't have a job, even though
pretty much, I believe.
Okay.
But anyway, I don't know. That's just me speaking out my ass. Don't take that as fact. But anyway, I feel like Big Summer Blowout personally. Big Summer blummed out on the financial schemes because who's going to pay to see this?
Yeah. Well, anybody who's a fan of Jacob Tremblay.
Yeah, no, that's right.
I'm not going to see this movie.
I'm not for Kathy Bates, bro.
Kathy Bates is good, man.
I love Kathy Bates, man. Yeah.
She was the reason I know Kathy Bates is that there was a movie that my mother used to watch a hell of a lot.
Was it Misery? It better have been Misery.
I think it was called Fried Green Tomatoes or something like that.
Yeah. My mum had that on VHS.
Oh, of course we had it on VHS.
In the double box.
Yeah. I don't remember that movie, but I just remember the name and she was in it.
Yep, exactly. 100%.
I probably have seen it several times, but I was probably 4 or 3 when it came out. Yeah, you
probably just randomly switch it on the channel and go, what's this movie? And then just start quoting it going, oh, what the fuck?
Yeah, where did this come from?
Exactly, yeah.
Anyway, that's been our trailer park, Mitchell. Thanks for stopping by, everybody. God, I'm sick of doing that accent.
Kind of am, but at the same time, we'll see you next Friday. So make sure you tune in and like and subscribe on Podbean, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and YouTube.
Big Summer Blowout. We've got a review.
Oh, I had it too.
Yeah.
That's right.
Welcome to Two's Company, Three's a Podcast, DTCR. We review the latest movie of the week, and we both went to see this at separate times simply because of scheduling conflicts.
We literally, that's right. We literally haven't spoken to each other a single word about how we perceive this movie. Yeah. But we went to see the new Charlie's Angels.
Charlie's Angels sequel.
Yeah,
almost.
That's right. It's
hints of a sequel.
No, it's not a reboot.
No, it's not a reboot.
Sorry, it is a reboot. It's not a remake.
No, that's correct.
It's not. This is a genuine sequel.
Yeah. Although it kind of is a reboot, and the sequel.
It's a reboot.
The sequel only comes from the fact that there's like sort of flashbacks.
Yeah, but
in it.
No, but
that's
but at the same time,
I really liked the fact that they did show glimpses of all of the previous angels that came before them. Yes. I thought that was quite neat.
Yes.
So we went and saw Charlie's Angels. This movie was written by Evan, I'm going to fuck that name up, and David Auburn.
Evan Spilotopoulos.
Yep. Directed by Elizabeth Banks, who's also a co-writer, starring Kristen Stewart, Naomi Scott, Ella Balinska, and Elizabeth Banks, of course, and Patrick Stewart.
That's right. And Digimon Houston.
Yeah, I don't know his name, how to pronounce it.
Digimon, Digital Monsters. Digimon Houston.
Sorry, we're so 90s. Anyway,
that's right.
Let's discuss this movie. Now,
straight into it.
I have a bit of a spoiler alert in terms of how you felt about this movie.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
How do you have a spoiler? We haven't discussed how I felt.
Because somebody asked me what I thought of it, and I gave them my answer, and this particular person, shout out to you, said, well, yous have different opinions.
Oh my God, you like this movie?
Yes.
Wow.
Yes, I
well
did.
done. You are officially the first person in the world to enjoy this film.
Yes, and I have seen everybody online, and people wanted this movie to fail, it is bombing, and a lot people are not seeing this movie for various reasons. But I looked at this, and I knew exactly what to expect.
So did I.
And that's exactly what I got, and I enjoyed it for it. And I don't care
now
whether the writers are saying, "Oh, fucking whatever." I don't know. I don't know
what you're getting at there.
Elizabeth Banks apparently has said, something to do with PC culture and misogyny and all that. I don't think she actually said it. I think someone posted an article and then everybody just ran with it.
Yeah.
I've written out a whole bunch of stuff, but I want to hear your thoughts on this first to see if it changes my thoughts on the film.
Okay, well, before we get, without giving any spoilers away, before I get into what I thought, we'll just give a brief synopsis per se.
Yes.
So the Charlie's Angels has evolved to the point where there's multiple Bosleys now that are all over the world, and they have their own selection of angels, and they fight crime because the government is too slow or whatever their explanation was.
Your typical spy action setting.
Exactly.
I would assume that the previous Charlie's Angels would have done that. I haven't seen the previous movies in a long time.
It's been a very long time.
Or the TV show. So all I've really got to go off is this movie.
No, that's completely fair. I can barely remember the other ones as well, besides Christian Slater smelling hair. Yes, wonderful. But, and these... individual angels get put together, but Naomi Scott isn't actually an angel at the start, and she isn't an angel the whole movie. Yeah, she's just the person that's being hunted because of this particular part. So the company that she works for created like a power source.
Okay, so the plot of this movie.
I'm trying to sum it up, but there's a lot of moving parts.
Here's the way I can describe the plot best. It's The Dark Knight Rises.
Yep.
And what I mean by that is that a company, Naomi Scott's character, that she works for this company, and she's developed a device which produces endless renewable clean energy, but it can be weaponized into a megaton neutron bomb.
That's right.
That's The Dark Knight Rises. But essentially, in this case, it's a smaller device which can generate power cleanly and effectively, but it's a bit faulty. It's not quite finished. And if in the wrong hands and dealt with incorrectly, it can cause like an EMP to the human body and literally make you have a heart attack or a stroke.
That's right.
The reason it can be weaponized and sold on the black market is because people can use this to put hits on certain targets.
And there's no evidence of how they died.
Yeah, apart from a natural. So that's the essential plot, is that people are trying to get this device and sell it. And I think the movie does this is where I'm going to give praise to the movie for such a generic plot.
That's fine.
I didn't expect anything more complex. It's fucking Charlie's Angels.
Yeah.
It's the way I see this is a fun spy comedy action film, which I personally really enjoy. Yeah. Because we see so many serious spy action movies, which I like. Yeah. Not many are really helmed by women. Yeah. And I really appreciate that Charlie's Angels has come back, considering nobody asked for it.
No, absolutely.
I really liked the cast and the trio of female actors in this film. I think they worked really well together. But the plot essentially has a few twists and turns. You're not really sure who's trying to weaponize it. And I think the twists happen at the right moments and in the right way, and I was quite surprised on how they handled that. So for me, I feel as generic as the plot is, they handled the twists quite well, and I think they had a lot of fun making this film. And props to the three angels. I think they all did a magnificent job personally. And I think Elizabeth Banks as an actor in this was more prominent than I expected. She was technically one of the angels.
Well, she was an angel and became a Bosley.
Well, that's correct.
Yeah, so she was actually a previous angel at a different time in her life,
Yeah,
but anyway, so yes, while I agree with the bulk of what you're saying, for me, the story was just too
generic. Yeah.
And the action, nothing felt unique.
I do have some agreements on that.
Yeah, for me, there was probably too much money thrown at it.
Mm-hmm.
But I feel like acting-wise, like you said, the three of them, fantastic. Elizabeth Banks, serviceable, but I feel like I've seen that kind of character from her before.
Yeah.
Patrick Stewart was great, even in the brief time that he was in there, because he's retiring at the beginning of the film. But also, my MVP for this entire film, Jonathan Tucker.
Now,
he is my...
Is that the Hitman?
Yes.
Yeah, he was great. I don't know his name, but I can guess because he was really good. I really enjoyed...
Hodak.
Yes, Mr.
But
Hodak.
Jonathan Tucker, as soon as I saw his face, I was like, what? And, okay, My first experience with Jonathan Tucker playing the weedy, skinny, glasses-wearing, frizzy hair, guy in Texas Chainsaw Massacre.
Oh, okay.
From 2003 with Jessica Biel. Yes.
I don't think I've seen that one. I can't quite remember.
It's a really good remake. But regardless, I saw him in that. And then I believe he was in Warrior.
I haven't seen that in a long time.
He played an MMA fighter, and that was like the first time he transformed his body.
That's Tom Hardy and Joel Edgerton, isn't it?
Oh, yeah. It may not be Warrior, but there's an MMA style film. I'll open up his page while I'm talking. Yeah. But Jonathan Tucker, my first experience was being the witty victim guy, smart-ass guy in Texas Chainsaw Massacre.
Yeah.
And he just completely overhauled his entire body in that particular MMA movie. Cool. And now he is and looks and acts like a fucking badass.
Yeah, he plays a really clean-cut, hard-hitting sort of
He is this Charlie's...
hitman.
Yes, he is this Charlie's Angels Christian Slater.
Okay,
Christian Slater in the original Charlie's Angels film was the creepy hitman guy who smelled hair, never had a line. How often does he talk in this?
I think he only says a word once, and that's towards the end.
Exactly, that's right, because he is just that focused, determined, like, I'm a hitman, I'm going to fuck you up, and kind of weird, and enjoys the punishment kind of thing in that. He's Christian Slater.
I'm glad you brought him up, because what was his name again?
Jonathan Tucker.
Jonathan Tucker. Now, we recently went to see Terminator Dark Fate, which the more I think about that movie, the more I hate it. And it's so boring.
Yeah, we have a review on the YouTube
this
page,
guy,
so make sure you check it out.
If they were to do like another Terminator, he would play an amazing Robert Patrick T-1000 Terminator. Because he looks the part. He's got that skinny look, but he looks intimidating, unlike the dude who played the Terminator in the most recent one, whatever his name is, Gabriel Iglesias.
Yeah, I'm not sure. Gabriel Iglesias, not fluffy.
Him. Yeah, but yeah, I think this guy would make a really good sort of thick jaw-lined, skinny but efficient Terminator. He would make a really good T-1000, I think.
100%. And I just can't understate the fact that this guy has evolved as an actor over the years from where his beginnings were. He did those few horror movies playing that gawky kind of character and that. Yeah. Did that MMA movie, which I still can't find.
Don't worry about
but
it.
Completely changed his body in that. And now I feel like he's entering that realm of he could become an action star.
Yeah.
Like, his presence in this for only saying like that one line or that one word.
Yeah.
It's fantastic.
I think
he was the constant in me where I was invested in the story as much as I didn't enjoy the story. Yeah. I was invested in it because of him.
Yeah, and where he was going to show up.
Yeah, because he shows up in that beginning bit and you just think, oh, he's just a sub-character. Yeah. And then it just evolves to the point where he becomes that main focal point towards the end, and it's fantastic.
Yeah.
And then, I will just say, the scene in the end where he...
Oh, man, that was brilliant. I really liked that. I didn't want to bring that up. I won't say how he... But it was really good.
But also not really a spoiler. He's the bad guy in a movie that they're trying to kill multiple times. Yeah. So, I mean, come on, he's the bad guy.
When you think about it, the few deaths in this movie, they're all pretty brutal.
They're really good. Yeah. Yes, I will say that, 100%. Yeah, there are a few deaths in this, and being an M-rated action film, you can't expect too much, but they're very nicely done.
In terms of how they died. Yeah. Now, going back to what you said before about the action being a bit Now, a lot of people are saying that complaint, and I definitely understand where they're getting at. Is like some of the close-up fighting action scenes are a bit hard to watch. Yeah. And I think that comes down to the fact that this is Elizabeth Banks, I believe it's her first action directing movie. So, I enjoyed this movie for what it is, and I have a lot more positive things to say about it, but I do want a sequel from this because I feel Elizabeth Banks does have the potential to further her skills and develop better action scenes because I think this is a great start. People are saying, oh, they should have got a different director for the action scenes, but like, why not have somewhere to start for this person? You know, she's always done pretty generic sort of female comedy, you know, haha funny, Pitch Perfect, which are good. But stepping into the world of action, I think Charlie's Angels is the perfect sort of concept for someone like her to give that a crack. And I personally think she did a good job. It's just some of the action, like the cuts between like jumping from here to there and grabbing the thing was like, you couldn't have done that with a stunt double all in one take or whatever. You know, I wasn't quite a fan of that, but I understand why it wasn't so great simply because this is her first fucking time. But Bill Pope is like one of the guys who's like involved with this film, who's done a lot of the most popular action films of the last decade, like Matrix and a whole bunch of things like that. So maybe he was involved to give some guidance, but I don't think if he had free reign to have his input in terms of the action, it would have been much better. But for what, as you said, for what this movie is, the story is generic as hell, but I expected that. what I got was a great action spy comedy flick with sexy and powerful women kicking ass the entire time, a decent plot twist with Patrick Stewart.
I purposely phrased it earlier he's just in it for a cameo at the beginning. He retires.
Yeah, but I'm just saying, like, there's a really decent plot twists in the middle.
Yeah.
But I had fun with this film. I actually laughed in moments. I feel that the actors all did an incredible job. I think it looks like they had fun in the film. So if I'm going to give this a pretzel rating.
A legitimate one?
A legitimate pretzel rating out of 5 pretzels.
Okay.
I give this 3.5 pretzels. I rate this fairly high. I'm not considering any of the marketing or what the actors and directors have said outside the film. I don't care about any of that shit. I'm looking at this purely as a fun comedy spy film, and I liked it.
Okay. I completely accept your answer, even though you're wrong. I accept it. All right. Now, I have no problem with the acting in this. Yep. Kristen Stewart, she's evolving into her own.
Oh, man.
In this, and her particular version of this character, loved it.
She essentially played the comic relief
exactly.
in this, and I think
she did great.
Yeah.
She did great. Her
opening scene, close up of her talking, bit off-putting, but the rest of the film is good.
No, I get that, exactly. But then also she's fictionalizing that part of her character. She's acting in that first part and then becomes the character,
what about
which
Australian
is nice.
Johnny? Did you like Australian Johnny?
I loved Australian Johnny. I thought that was great. Yeah, no, Australian Johnny was fantastic. But, all right, so the acting was great. Yep. Okay, Naomi Scott as well. I think she played the damsel in distress character who evolves a little bit. She was great.
She was the nerdy person who was caught up in it.
Yeah, exactly.
You had Kirsten Stewart's character who was the rebel without a cause, funny, happy,
Exactly, yeah.
And then you had Ella Balinska, who was the more serious, hard-hitting,
exactly.
And who then develops a soft side. They had the three... They had their
very different dynamics.
Yeah, they had their 3 sort of... what's the word I'm looking for this?
Personalities?
3 arcs separately. And some movies really fuck up having different personalities for each character. Predator. Predator.
Yeah.
Each character had a different arc, and it was so forced and so annoying.
Yeah.
I feel this one had 3 different personalities, and they intertwined them very well and wrote them very well. So
that's right. So the 3 of them did very well. Elizabeth Banks, like I said, I feel like I've seen her act like this before, so it wasn't anything outstanding from her. But I just can't get over the fact that the story, to me, while there was a couple of good twists in it, which is very nice, I feel like the story was just a bit stale, something we've all seen before kind of thing. And I feel like I don't want to, but I have to compare it to the first ones. And the first ones, to me, left a much better impression.
That's cool.
I feel like there were 3...
like I would have to go back to watch them again to give it a good comparison.
That's fair. But from my personal perspective, I feel like it's not going to beat the original one. Yep. And I feel like as much as it's its own film and it's good for what it is, I feel like this is just too much of a Hollywood cash grab.
Yeah,
jumping on the women empowerment movement and that, which I've got nothing against, of course, but to me, I'd rather watch a Michael Bay film. I could switch off easier in that, whereas this one I'm comparing. Well, if that makes sense.
Yeah, I get that. The thing is, though, as you mentioned, it is like it's coming out in a time where women in power and whatever else is a massive talking point. But you just got to remember, and what I expected and got from this movie, that this movie is made for women.
Oh yeah, no, absolutely. Oh. And I understood that when I went by myself and there was only 2 girls in the theater watching it.
I was in the cinema by myself. Actually, when I was leaving the cinema, there was one other bloke right at the back.
Oh, please tell me he was there when you sent me the Snapchat of you saying, "Keep it down!"
Stealing your joke.
Yeah, exactly.
No, I didn't. He wasn't there. But yeah, this movie's made for women, and I think there's nothing wrong with that because 90% of action films are made for blokes, essentially, in terms of their tone.
This isn't my worst DTCR experience.
No, we've had much worse.
Yeah, no, that's right. And I feel like I didn't come out of this going, I just had to sit through that. I came out going, it just didn't work.
Yeah, okay.
In my opinion. But, like I said, full credit to the actors, actresses. They did fantastic.
Pretzel rating.
Out of 5, I'll go from you 2.5.
Okay. So half, 5 out of 10.
Yeah, exactly. 3 would be my working class rating. This one's just a notch below because I don't know, it just didn't work for me.
No, that's
just
cool,
didn't
man.
personally work for me.
Best moment?
Best moment. You do yours if you have one off the top of your head because I wrote one down.
I didn't write it down.
Okay, well...
You go for it and I'll think of something.
Yeah, no worries. My favourite moment was Kristen Stewart. Mm-hmm. It was just a particular joke while they're just at one of their bases discussing things and that. And Kristen Stewart says, "Oh, they were talking about weddings.
Yep.
And she said, "Oh, there was a gunfight at my wedding."
No, yes, right. I was
Stop
trying
it.
to
Stop it. Yeah, there was a gunfight at my wedding.
I really like that.
Yeah, there was a gunfight at my wedding. You were married? No, I was the better shot. I loved that line. That one made me laugh. Yes.
I'm glad you wrote that down because I remember that there was a joke in this movie that I wanted to remember, and that was it.
I can't remember the other joke, but I wrote down, this was like while I was in the theater, I was like, I need to remember that. And I just wrote down there's a fantastic Birdman, Batman, Ben Affleck joke in there as well. Yeah. I very much enjoyed that.
Who's Batman? Michael Keaton. Is it Ben Affleck?
Yeah.
Is he really?
Yeah. It's like Birdman. Yeah. Michael Keaton. Birdman. Like Batman, Ben Affleck. Yeah. It was really well done.
I really liked that too.
There was those two particular jokes that were my favorite moment, but do you remember yours? Or
those two jokes.
Oh, okay. Just copying me. That's fine. Completely original, Dylan. Well done.
You've reminded me because I was thinking about getting my phone out and writing things down as well, but I was like, I'm not going to be that guy.
Yeah,
I'm
like
just
I
going to
said,
sit here and enjoy it.
I was no. Well, I am that guy. And no, I just pulled it out because I was there by myself. So I was like, I didn't lose anything from just looking down, going, but otherwise, I could see people going and enjoying it like you did, but at the same time, it just didn't work for me.
Yeah,
I'm much more looking forward to next week, DTCR.
Yeah,
and
absolutely.
That just cut out because I spoke too quietly.
Cool. This has been Two's Company, Three's a Podcast, also known as @2c3pod on Facebook and Instagram and Twitter and all of that jazz. That has been our Charlie's Angels film discussion review thing.
DTCR does the cinema. That's
Absolutely.
right. And make sure wherever you're listening to or watching us, subscribe and hit that like button. Or check us out on Podbean, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and YouTube. Big Summer Blowout.
Now, as we said in our last episode, we have reopened our tpublic.com store where you can find our updated and latest 2c3pod merch. We've got a t-shirt, we've got a hoodie, we've got some stickers and magnets, and also a new mug as well. So
that's right.
Definitely head over there if you want to support the show in a way that actually gets something.
Yes, that's right. And all of that money does come directly to the show for us to help things. And we've got big plans for Christmas and that. But if you want to send us a line directly, Two's Company 3's podcast @gmail.com.
Bloody beautiful. Now, we do have 4 videos every week, 2 episodes of a podcast every week. I stole that from you, I believe.
Yeah, well, yes, that's completely right. Make sure you subscribe and like because we do have 4 videos on YouTube coming every week and 2 podcast episodes every Wednesday and Friday available on Podbean, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and YouTube.
Absolutely. Thank you very much for tuning in. My name is Dylan, as always, along with my co-host,
Mitchell. And don't forget, we are Two's Company and you are the podcast. Fuck. Can you maybe just read the Dylan part?
Sorry, man.
Yeah, there's 4 videos on YouTube and I'm like, thanks for tuning in.
I meant to say 2 episodes of a podcast and I went straight to video. I was like, damn it.
There's a lot of content, ladies and gentlemen.
Yes, there is.
Make sure you like and subscribe. I cannot stress that enough. The subscriber counts are slowly growing, but I want to see more improvement.
Absolutely.
I want to see more ringing of the bell, notifications. I want more people to go, why did you release this episode at 6 a.m? I'm about to start work, motherfucker. Thanks for tuning into that video by Two's Company, Three's a Podcast. Don't be sad, though. There's plenty more where that came from. Another cheeky video right there. Maybe even hit that subscribe button and ring that bell. Or, if you don't like our faces, check us out on Podbean, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, or YouTube.